Welcome back, guys. Michael here with Offshore Citizen, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 fastest countries to get citizenship in. And at the end, I'm actually going to give you a little bonus of a country that you can get citizenship instantly. So here we go. All right. So obviously, we talk quite a bit about citizenship by investment here, and citizenship by investment you can get anywhere from a month to 6 months, sometimes 2 years, depending on the particular country. Fairly quickly, right? But that's going to typically cost you, 100 grand plus. So what about if you don't have 100 grand or you don't want to spend 100 grand? What are your options for getting citizenship relatively quickly? All right, and I'm going to give you 5 and then another bonus. So number 1, Argentina. Okay, so actually you're going to find all of these are in Latin America. Interestingly, it just kind of tells you something about the Latin American laws when it comes to citizenship, right? So Argentina, you can get citizenship potentially within 2 years, okay? Now, one thing I do want to caution you on all of these is I can give you, there's 2 sides to it. The one side of it is we say, hey, here's what it is by the book, but it might not actually work out. So for example, although it's not a good place, I would say, for getting citizenship quickly, Costa Rica is a place where you can supposedly get residency quite easily, but in practice it tends to drag on quite a while. Okay, so we do need to be a bit aware of that. If you have questions, contact us, we'll help you out. So you've got Argentina, 2 years. Another country, Peru, similar deal. Okay, Peru, you can potentially get citizenship within 2 years. Very interesting. Oh, by the way, I mentioned before that it can go badly, but actually it can also go well if you have the right connections, etc. So under the right circumstances, a little bit like I've told people before, Montenegro brought in just in the last year their official citizenship by investment program, but the truth is they had unofficial citizenship by investment for a long time before that if you had the right connections. So be aware of that. In a lot of these countries, things can either go longer or can actually be faster. They can be more lenient or they can be more restrictive depending on who you know. Okay, so we've got number 1, Argentina. Number 2, Peru. What's the third one? Probably a place that people wouldn't actually think of that often, but I actually have a few clients and friends there, and they swear they love it. The lifestyle in terms of the weather, etc., is fantastic. Is Dominican Republic. So Dominican Republic, it is very easy to get citizenship. You can potentially do it, again, within 2 years. And so for a lot of people, what we've seen is people say from Venezuela who've been going there, and some of the other Latin-speaking countries. Obviously, there's some beautiful resorts. There's some nice places to check out. It's a popular vacation spot from Canada and the U.S. The passport isn't that good, but hey, you can get it quickly. Okay, so that's number 3. What's number 4? Number 4, Uruguay. Okay, so Uruguay is actually quite popular. We get a lot of people inquiring about Uruguay, about Paraguay, about Chile, all 3 of those in terms of residency. But it just turns out that actually you can get citizenship there fairly quickly in a fairly quick 3 years, okay? Now, a lot of people would throw in Paraguay as the third one, but I'm gonna give you an alternative that very few people talk about, but it is actually possible. It is probably the single best passport you can get within 3 years, and that is Canada. So if you go and you live in Canada, the rule is that when you apply for citizenship, you need to have been a permanent resident there, or you need to have actually been there 1,095 days, 3 years out of the last 5 years. Well, the interesting thing here is if you just went there and stayed for 3 years, you can, in theory, get citizenship, or at least apply, within 3 years. And Canada's a very good passport. I'm from Canada originally, and obviously it's, a top tier country in terms of visa-free travel, in terms of reputation globally. There's, downsides on the tax side, so, depending on what people are looking for, it might not be for them, but that's a great one. The other 2 that I'm going to mention as being kind of interesting are, number 1, Poland. Poland is not great from the perspective of if you actually want to go and get citizenship by naturalization. All these others I mentioned are citizenship by naturalization. Okay, you go and you live there for a certain period of time. You can say, okay, 2 years or 3 years in the country living there. Sometimes you don't even have to spend that much time out of the year in those countries, such as Argentina, such as Peru, etc. But if you're Uruguay, by the way, you have to tend to spend quite a bit more time, so it's a little bit of a downside. So Poland is one that you're not going to get citizenship through naturalization so well, but you can by marriage. So Poland has some really interesting citizenship laws. In theory, the president has the power to just bestow citizenship on people, so that's an interesting thing. And then there's the one that I want to mention, which is the fastest, which is Cape Verde. Okay, so it's a small island. It's like 500,000 people or something like that. Very poor country. 30% of the country lives below poverty line. But interestingly, you can get citizenship instantly by marrying somebody from there if you have, without even having to live there. So one of the easiest citizenships in the world, one of the fastest citizenships in the world. There's some others that you might look at, and if you're interested in options, please contact us. We're happy to give you some advice and direct you in what might be good for you. Obviously in those last ones, you know, you have to get married to somebody, but you know, there's some options. There's a lot of people who are wanting to move to Canada. It's one of the places that if you have a bit of money, you're able to, there's some ways that you can get in there and you can start a business or buy a business, things like this. And so if you're interested, reach out to us. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Click the like button, please, if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, click, apparently there's a little bell that I didn't know about. I'm a YouTube noob, but subscribe, click the bell, and comment if you have any questions. If you want to reach out to us, if you want some assistance, you can go to www.clarity.fm/Michael Rosmer. It'll be in the comments or the description section of the video. You can check us out at offshorecapitalist.net or offshorecitizen.net or offshorecapitalist.com. And hopefully we will see you guys on the next video.